This video is meant to be an update of my understanding and my opinion so far about these LG OLED TVs. And if you are new to the channel, it's gonna be a summary for you. If you've been following me, I'm also gonna give you an update in my color recommendation. So this is an amazing TV and it's an HDR colorful TV. Okay, beautiful colors, HDR, just impressive. So in my opinion, after the discovery of HLG, you should never again watch SDR content or play video games on SDR. It just makes no sense in my opinion. This looks so much better with HLG. And the way you get that very quickly, just click on the settings button, you step on select mode, you click 111.3.111, and you're going to come to this secret menu and you change the EOTF from auto to HLG. That's it. So we want to use that over SDR. So if you have a console, you turn off all the auto HDR, all the Dolby Vision, and if the game is on SDR, absolutely use this HLG. And my recommendation for the colors are going to be color gamut on native, color saturation 50, warm 50. And the reason why that is my recommendation is because in my experience the SDR content is on BT709, Rec 709. So that's a smaller color space. By changing the color gamut to native, the TV is going to convert this Rec 709 to P3, basically DCI P3, or more. It's gonna give you a more beautiful colors. Basically, it doesn't matter the technicality behind it. It's gonna look a lot better, in my opinion. So, for HDR, my recommendation is you should definitely try the HDR10 if the game has HDR10 or Dolby Vision if you have that possibility, because HDR10 is superior to a conversion from SDR to HDR, absolutely. But the problem is, in my experience, I see that a lot of HDR games are facing black level rays, so that means it looks like an LCD screen when you are on the darkness. The colors, for some reason, are being washed out. Sometimes the colors are diluted, okay? And the other problem is to get the HDR settings perfect. You have to nail the HDR10 settings so you don't get anything that looks blown out, you don't lose details on the bright areas, and you don't crush blacks, okay? So always try to set up your HDR10 settings, and if you get a result that's close to HLG or you cannot tell the difference, go with the HDR10 from the game. Absolutely, that should be a better option. But try HLG. You might be surprised. You might like it. So the update for the colors for all of you that have been following me. Now on Windows 11, I realized that when I switch to HDR10, the color space is changing from Rec 709 to DCI P3 or bigger. And the reason why I know that is because I go to the same menu, this HDMI signaling override menu. I come here and it's very easy to notice that I changed from auto. Right now this is Cyberpunk with HDR10. I changed from auto to Rec 709 and I see the color difference. So what that tells me is that for sure on HDR10 this is not on Rec 709. So if that's the case, my recommendation for the colors on HDR10 is not native color, it's auto. Auto detect saturation on 55. So if you are on Windows 10, that was not happening on Windows 10. It was stuck on Rec 709. That's why my recommendation was always color gamut on native. And you cannot go wrong with that. But if the game is on DCI P3 or better or bigger color space, auto detect saturation 55 is gonna be nicer. So check that for yourself using that HDMI signaling override menu and see which one looks better to you. So my recommendation always is going to be for SDR, as a summary, for SDR, no, don't use SDR, use HLG. It's a lot better. For the colors, if you are using HLG, color gamut native, saturation 50, 150. And if you are on HDR, check and make sure that you are not on that smaller color space for some reason. And if you are, just use color gamut native. And if you are not, then use auto detect for the colors, saturation 55 and 150. So that's it. I'm going to keep comparing HLG with HDR10 in every single game, and I am going to show you the difference. And it is not easy. On this Cyberpunk, for example, on HDR10, I am needing to lower that black level to a point that I am not comfortable recommending you to do that, because the black level on every TV is gonna be slightly different. So to get the result that I want, I have to tweak the settings too much, and I cannot recommend that. But I'm gonna show in detail every single game, and you will see which one is better. But if you just want a solution that's easy, just one click fix all, you don't have to worry about settings ever again, you cannot go wrong with HLG dynamic tone mapping off, or if you are using Motion Pro, HLG with dynamic tone mapping on. Okay, and actually that's the way I play every single game, because I love Motion Pro. So if you like Motion Pro, you're set. You don't need to worry about anything else. HLG dynamic tone mapping on, Motion Pro for every single game, color gamut native, saturation 50, 150. That's it. That's your settings. And every single game, just set the slider, gamma slider or brightness slider, to the default value. You're done. That's all you need. So yeah, I will continue my comparison series, so you can watch my videos, or if you are okay with or if you just want that easy solution, there you go. That's it. HLG.